All right, it's Wednesday morning. Good morning. We are doing another Living Freestyle game dev Q&A AMA, or just making a game. My name is Kevin. I try to do this twice a week, Sunday nights and Wednesday mornings. We work at like office hours. I hang out, I answer questions if there are any. And if not, we're working on a game that I'm making as kind of just a case study, if you will. I work in games. I'm lucky enough to work in games. I get to do a lot of cool stuff every day, but there's a lot of cool stuff I don't get to do. So I am not a subject matter expert in any of the things that we are trying to do. We are stumbling through them together. It should be fun. Last time we went over a bunch of stuff with the Lyra project, kind of took a look at that. And mostly what we're working on right now is AI. Now, with that, a lot of cool stuff has happened since the last time we were together. So let me just hop right into Unreal and kind of break down some of where we are. So also I should probably do a quick check and make sure that there aren't any questions in the previous live streams. I'm pretty sure there weren't when I checked last night. No, not at all. So that means that we just get to do cool stuff, which is great. All right, so we are streaming our screen. That's cool. Looks like our audio levels are okay. Maybe back this up just a little bit. All right. Now, one of the things that I want to take a look at is just a recap of just some of the things we've changed since the last time we were here. This level is a whole lot bigger now for a lot of different reasons. We're starting to get to the point where we have so many enemies that we want to give them room to spread out. I think we're going to make this even bigger because I want them. One of the two things that we were thinking about doing last time was either formations, or like how they move about together, or squad-based health, the idea of squad-based health. Now there's some fun challenges to both of those, but we also solved a whole bunch of problems that we'll go through. So our area is bigger. You'll also notice that I do have a couple of weapon spawn points in here. These are largely here because I want to see the enemies going and doing things. So in fact, let's just make another one up here, because what happened was I found a way to make the enemies able to traverse over all of these things. And so what we can do is, if we just set this to sim and we run it, we don't even have to play the game. Our enemies will start spawning in. We can just watch what they do when we're not around. So a couple of things to note. First off, they're all spawning in squads, which is cool. So each of our squads still stays intact. And this dude right over here on the right, he just got up and he just went and got that weapon. So he was able to get on top of that platform. This weapon is gone now as well. So I believe this orange guy got up here and we're watching this yellow guy go flying. You saw that orange guy go flying over the top there? That is a curse that I still have, and we need to fix that. We're gonna have to figure out how to fix that because that's definitely annoying. But this is kind of a cool way just to see what our enemies do when we're not around. So now when we are around, and I actually need to make a change here. This is I need to get all of this stuff into tabs so that it's easier for me to see if anybody has questions or things like that. The way that we were able to get all of those enemies doing that, we just had to make some changes to our anim BP as well as the characters themselves to allow them to detect edges so that they could climb up on top of them and things like that. There's still a bunch of testing that I think we need to do. Like, we probably need to have, like, for example, if we wanted to, let's just make this a little bit more complicated. Let's just see if we can make this even taller and wider. We'll do this. And then what we'll do is we'll put this weapon, this guy here, at the end of this platform. And of our 20 enemies that we spawn, can they find a way to get there without me doing anything? Is kind of the goal. So let's just see. Okay, so while they're doing their thing, I'm going to go ahead and finish recapping. So we had to make some changes in the Anim blueprint, basically that allowed them to detect edges, so they could mantle over edges and things like that, like the yellow guy just did. There are some dudes who are trying to find weapons right now. What I don't know is this height. Are they stuck here because they're trying to jump up to get this, and they can't navigate around to get up here? Or will the system, when it does the pathfinding, give it a chance to do that? So another way to simplify this maybe would be, if we escape out of this, let's get rid of all of our other weapons. So there's one there, there's one here, and there's one behind us. If all of these dudes just sit here and try to jump at the base of this thing, then they probably can't figure out, like, so he's just jumping over here. They're all just jumping over here. And I don't think that is some, oh dude, he made the jump. But he can't, let's see, can he, oh, he got it. He got it. That was not the way we wanted him to get it. But look at this, they're all making this jump now. So are they making the jump, or are they actually bouncing off each other? And if we make this taller, do they still try to jump to get it? That's the enemy spawner. Let's move this up. Oh, and also you'll note see how these green squares are happening? This one's not covered, so that's not a navigable area. It's because our nav bound needs to be made taller. There we go. So now all of this is navigable, if that's a word. We don't want them to try to go outside though. Let's just bring that inside a little bit. Okay, let's rerun the sim again. And my concern is, like I said, I think they're gonna just sit here and try to jump. We'll see. So he ran up to that edge and he tried to jump. Yeah, so they're all trying to jump to get up there. We're gonna have to take a look at the pathing so that they can, rather than trying to jump to get up there, it can find a path to get there instead. So we'll take a look at that, but that's like a future us problem. For now, we'll just kind of leave this as is. And we'll go back into, we get rid of the simulate and we just go in the selected viewport. Now we can kind of take a look at how they react when I'm in here. And some of the things that we fixed, there's a lot of things we fixed. We fixed a lot of the runaway behaviors. We fixed a lot of the aggression behaviors. We changed it so that when they're retreating, they actually will attack while they're retreating as well. In order to show you that, I would have to redo this spawn so there's only one of them, because it's very hard to see. So let's take a look at our enemy spawner here, which is here. And let's just knock this down to 1 so we can go over a couple things. So this dude is, he hasn't seen me yet. Oh, so he's fight melee. Oh, dude. I think we just knocked him off the map. Let's get rid of this. And that is the other curse that I need to fix. For some reason, we keep falling through the map. All right, so fight melee. 1, 2. Now he's in runaway mode, right? But as he runs away, he will stop and every 5 seconds hit me with a fireball, because I guess he doesn't have a gun. There we go. So he does stop to shoot while he's running away. Now he's still in fine weapon mode, so he's trying to get up to that weapon. How the heck did he get that gun? Anyways, overall, I wonder if we can make him drop the gun if we get him to push over. So he should choose points further away from me when he's running away. So I'm kind of corralling him into... Oh, interesting. But the point he's choosing is up top and he doesn't know how to get there. Okay, well that complicates things a bit. We'll have to figure that out. Either way, overall, they are behaving way better than they were. Let's just get rid of all this stuff. We'll come back to the 3D world a little bit later. Oh, there was a gun behind there. That's how he picked that up. Okay, that's fine. So I think we either try to do formations or we do squad health. And I think either one... Now, this is another great example. The reason he's still attacking, even though he has low health, is because Berserker mode is actually working. Dude just fell off the map again. So it's not just me. They fall off the maps too. Even though they're standing on a solid surface. I gotta figure out what is happening with that. There's something that happens when they collide with something. But anyways. So to do either squad-based health or formations, I think what we want to do is give our leaders or our enemies the idea of which squad they're in. And we kind of have a little bit about that. So what we've done here in our blackboard is we've got, you know, if they have a squad leader, the squad leader will be set. The squad ID is like, are they in squad 1, squad 2, squad 3? And then I've started introducing the idea of squad rank. So let's take a look at a squad. So to do that, we're gonna need some more enemies. All right, and when we play, all right, so we have 4 squad members, and you can see how they are. Oh, these are all defenders, I guess. They are, yeah, because he's defend melee. So you can see how they all have ranks on above their heads. Ranks 1, 2, 0 through 3. Now, if I kill their second ranking guy, okay, the next dude who spawns comes in as rank 2. That's great. If I kill the third ranking guy, or that one's the easy one. If I kill the first ranking guy, the next dude who spawns should also come in as 1. So they're basically looking to fill the ranks when they spawn. Now this is where it gets interesting. If I kill the leader, what happens? We have a new leader. He's rank 0. He's fight melee, and they all changed to fight melee. So now they're all trying to attack me. The heck did that guy just do? He just went flying off the map. Something is going on. I think it's when you mantle. It's finding a way to... Alright, so if I kill the leader again... Yeah, so they're still trying to mantle something that's not here anymore. Okay? So, and I believe these shadows are part of the problem. Platforms. That's not what I want. I want to build... where do I rebuild the nav mesh? Build all levels? Because it still has these shadows in here from the nav mesh. Let's see if that helps it. So we don't get dudes trying to mantle things that aren't there anymore. Looks pretty good. Alright, so we'll kill the squad leader again. I don't know what happened. These dudes have like this Night at the Roxbury thing going where they're looking to the left after everything. There's something I changed in the NMBP. Or no, not even, I don't even think it's the NMBP. I think it's in their facing direction when they're figuring out what tasks they're supposed to be doing. But anyways, so now we have the idea of ranks. We could use the idea of ranks to our new lead, by the way, is a fight melee. So now they're all fight melee. So they're actually paying attention to what their squad leader says, which is cool. Now, because we have squad ranks now, what we could do is we could try to figure out positioning. Or if we take a look at our BP, in our strategize task, we have fight or flight. This is if you have friends, healthy, or you're not berserker, right? What we could do is, and then this one is has friends, healthy, or is berserk. So this is the interesting thing. The idea of whether or not a friend is nearby so they feel stronger in numbers kind of goes away with this squad work. And so I'm wondering if we don't need either a change in condition, like, because we're not always going to find enemies in squads. They may be loners, right? So an example might be, let's see, when we spawn and we strategize, one of the things we could do is we could have a lone wolf factor. So effectively, when we come in here, we set whether or not we found a lead and our squad counts. But what we could do before we do any of this stuff is we could see if this person wants to be a lone wolf. And if they're lone wolf, then they wouldn't do any of those things, and then all those individual stuff would apply. And that's actually, potentially a good reason why we might want to keep things like whether or not they have friends nearby, because a lone wolf might also feel stronger if there are friends nearby. So that's an interesting thing to think about in the mix of this. Let's see if we can do the form up stuff. Okay, so here's how we're gonna do this. This is my test case. Let's make this simple. Okay. When we're patrolling scanning, what's happening is they're finding a place to go, and then they're updating the current defend position if they're defending. All right, so this is another change I made. So if we're in this patrol behavior area, we basically, if we're not in attack mode and we are in defend mode, we're going to find a spot around the position that we're defending. But if we're in attack mode, we're just going to randomly patrol around the map. That's cool. So I think what we want to do, though, is only do this if we're the lead. And then if we're a squad member, we would move to location would be different. So let's see if we can do this. Let's just force everything to be patrol. And then let's also force, for the purposes of testing, so in our strategy, where's our strategy? We're going to, let's see here. We're going to need to really make this strategy type. Leader blackboard. Okay, so our leaders to define our strategy. And what we want to do is change our strategies type to 1. Actually, you know what? It's probably easier to debug this if they're defenders. So let's go with 2. So we're going to go strategy 2. They're going to go into patrol scan. We only have one squad. He's going to come in here. He's going to update the status. They're going to not do this first one. Then they're going to do the second one. And so let's just double check this. All right, let's move our defendable pawn, the thing that we're defending, into the middle of the map. Zoom out a little bit, grab this, change it to simulate, and let it go. How many people we got? 4. Okay, so this is, they're basically going to patrol around the defendable position. This looks good. Or the defensive item or whatever the heck it is. Now, they're relative. It looks like they're staying within, you know, a reasonable radius of this defendable spot. All right, so that's cool. That's working. First part of our test case. So now what we want to do is in here, let's only update if we're the lead. So let's add a decorator to this. By the way, I'm just making this up. I have no idea if it's gonna work. So Blackboard condition, where was this? Blackboard and wait. Add decorator, Blackboard. And let's change move to location to B squad leader is set. And we're not going to abort. Okay, so this should be, so what should happen now is they should still do their defense around this defense, the thing they're supposed to defend. But once they get there, the buddies should hold still and the lead should be the only one that patrols. That is true. Right? So it's one step closer. Let's take a look at this again in our tree. Now, what we want to do is all this is going to be the same. Now, if this, oh, you know what we could do? Update current defend position. What I want to do, yeah, if we duplicate this, okay, and we change this condition here to be the inverse, is not set. So this is going to update the current defend position for a squad member now, because they're not a leader. And this is where I think what we want is maybe another task, but let's just take a look and see if there's a way we can do this easily. Oh my goodness. Yeah, this is probably way more complicated than what we actually need. So let's make a new task called, what are we going to call it? Update. Let's make a task called form up. Yeah? Okay. I love this plan. It's a great plan. Where are we? Not set focus. Update current defend position. Let's browse here. Let's duplicate this. And let's just call form up task. Form up task. Okay. So holy shnikes, there's a lot in here. We're going to, let's see, what do we want to keep? We'll keep all of this stuff because this is good to have. We'll keep the Blackboard. Do we need all of the actors? We do not. We don't need all of this. We don't need these defend ring counts. We don't need any of that. We might need that later, but for now, let's not worry about it. Control pawn, actor location. We're not going to worry about ranged. We're not going to worry about owner control. None of this stuff. So we don't need this either. We're not going to be worrying about the defensive ring claims either. Not for now. This is just going to be a blind. Let's see if we can get them to form up. Not doing the defend ring claim. All right, what do we got here? This is find a new spot. I kind of like this. Let's do that. Already in the spot. I'm not gonna worry about this either. defensive location, none of these things, attack position, move to. Okay, so let's just delete all of this. You know what, we'll delete this too. And the reason we're going to delete that is because I think ultimately if we wanted to, we can, that stuff still exists in the other one. All right, so let's take this and what I want to do, what I'm thinking is we're going to, from the Blackboard, let's get a value as an object. And the value we're going to get is our squad leader. Squad leader. And we're going to take that and we're going to cast it to an enemy, I believe. Let's see. Is it enemy or is it enemy AI? This isn't going to be helpful because it's just an object here. So in our strategize task, when we set our squad leader, what do we set it to? This is getting set to a AI, enemy AI. Okay, cool. So in our form up task, we're going to take this, cast it to enemy AI. That's great. And then if that succeeds, what we're going to do is we're going to get the actor location of the leader. That's what we want to do. And then we're going to take from that, let's take his get forward vector. Get the forward vector. And it is a normalized vector that faces forward. All right. So what I want to do is let's just make them go single file to start with. Let's see if we can do that. So let's multiply this by -1 so that the vector points the other way. I was pretty sure there was a way to do that without doing this. Invert. Nope, that's not what I want. Times. I thought we could times this by a float. Why can't multiply? Integer constant. Float. Holy cow, let's just try this. I swear I used to be able to multiply this by... Alright, well if we just do -1 across the board, does that work? Come on, keyboard, let's go. All right, so we're gonna invert this so this is facing the other way now. And then we're going to multiply this by... Dude, what is with this? Because I know I used to be able to multiply vectors by floats to make them bigger. Oh, look at this. Are you kidding me? Oh, God. Okay. Let's do this. Let's convert this. I guess now this is a new thing. I don't remember being here before. If you right click on the pen, I can convert this pen to a float. Single precision is fine. And I'm just going to multiply this by a -. a negative, let's try 100. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to also, from our blackboard, I'm going to get a value. And the value I want to get is the squad rank. And that's going to be an int. Okay. And, oh no, I want to get value as int. Get value as int. Get that squad rank. And I am going to then take this times that. Times. Convert pin to float. Okay, so what it should do is this should give me a vector. All right, and the vector is going to be a length that is determined by my squad rank. So the higher my squad rank is, the longer the vector, the further back I should be from the main pawn. So then I'm going to take this, I'm going to add this to the current location. And the reason we're doing that is because, you know, the vector needs to start from somewhere. And then I'm going to use this to set my move to location, I believe, is what I want. So let's, from the blackboard, let's set value as float. So if all of this succeeds, not a float, we want to set value as a vector. Set value as vector. And then what we want to do is take this, feed this in here. We're going to finish this. And the float that we're setting is here. And our key name is going to be, should be move to location. Let's see here. Update current defensive position. We are setting our move to location. That's what we want. So this is our form up task. So we're going to set our move to location. All right, we're going to let this ride. No debug. Just go and see if that works. If it doesn't, then we'll do our usual draw all kinds of debug and everything. So what I want to do is I want to change this one. Let's copy all of these. Let's just add a task. Form up task. Let's paste all of our conditions in. We can get rid of this now and bring this in here. All right. Okay, so if we're in defensive position and we're not a squad leader, we're going to force success, we should form up. This should get ignored. It's going to set our focus, set our gate, and we're going to move to the move to location. All right. I mean, let's see if that works. Squad leader goes into place. Okay. It doesn't look like our other dudes are going. So let's take a look at what enemy 2 is doing here. Enemy 2. So enemy 2 is coming through and he's just basically looping through all of this. He is doing the form up task, but for some reason he's not actually moving. That's interesting. Let's see where he thinks he's supposed to be moving to. Or you know what? Let's put a breakpoint and form up. See if we're. That's fine. Enemy 1. We can troubleshoot as enemy 1. It's taking a while to set the blackboard for some reason. Oh, because I moved that. Okay. So squad leader. Look, our squad leader's valid. We're setting our move to location to be a spot. Okay. So this is where we start drawing stuff. Draw, debug, spear. I should just make a function out of this. So I can just always do this. Good morning, Jamie. How's things going? Thanks for hopping in. All right, radius 100, duration of 1 should be fine. 10's a long time. And then let's make the thickness 1 or 1 as well. All right, I want to see where these dudes think they're supposed to be going. We don't need this breakpoint. What the heck? Oh. That's way interesting. Okay, so I don't think we have the right position. Something's weird about our position here. Hold on a second. We're getting, oh, this is the AI. I don't know if that's what we want, because maybe the AI exists and floats in space. Get controlled pawn. Wait, get controlled pawn. Okay. Can we get the forward vector from that? Ooh, we can. And we can get the location from that instead of from our AI. And then we'll just assume that's an enemy and it's valid. So let's try this again. Let's see where our... Oh yeah, look at this. Okay, so what was happening was... Where's he going now, though? What? Okay. It's sort of worked. Sort of worked. Famous first words, right? The first time they come in, they go to a position just behind the leader. But they're not really following him around super well. And then they just go wandering around on their own. Where are they going? Oh, look at this. Get this random location task. Okay, so what's happening here? Has line of sight's not set. So basically... All right, let's watch this from here. And we'll take a look at enemy 1, just as our test case. So he comes in, he does his move 2. And then he hops in here, and he basically is in this simple parallel for almost 5 seconds. 5 seconds with plus or minus 2. And then he basically sits there and looks around and waits for another 1.5 seconds, and then gets a random location, moves to that. Okay, let's do this. Let's say that if it's a squad lead, he's allowed to do this. Okay, so the only person who should be getting random locations now is the squad lead. Everybody else should be falling in. Man, this is sort of weird. Let's go back. Form up. No, we want to be in the ability tree. All right, let's delete this condition. Let's do this. Let's only do this if we're a squad lead. Otherwise, they're just going to do this constantly. This should make the followers be a lot tighter in formation. So the leader falls in. These dudes should be getting in place behind him. It's gonna take a little while. Because the squad lead is like pulling all kinds of crazy Ivans and stuff. Okay, they are doing their best to try to follow their crazy squad leader. It's a little... Okay, they're starting to do it. But they're constantly moving. So let's give this some rest. How are we gonna do that? All right, so basically the squad lead comes in, he's gonna do his thing, and then he's gonna start doing all this. Meanwhile, these dudes are going to always try to move to the next thing. Except what we want is maybe as a squad lead's just looking around, they're not moving. So how do we do this? We could give them a sense of their last squad lead position. That's something we could do. I'm getting a little bit worried about how many variables everybody's tracking and stuff from a performance standpoint, but I also kind of don't care right now because we're just trying to make it work. So let me see. If we go back to our Blackboard, we have our squad leader. Maybe we could create a variable called squad lead on the move. But how would we know if the squad lead is moving? I think it's kind of less about whether or not they're... Let's just create a new variable. Let's just try. Let's just make it work. Okay, and we're gonna call it squad leader last position. It's gonna be a vector. And when we do form up, what we'll do is we'll set the last position. Okay, so when we decide to form up, we're going to, with our Blackboard, we're going to set a value as vector again. Okay, and the value that we're going to be setting this time, let's make it all nice and pretty. Is going to be squad lead in last position, which is here. Okay, and then we're going to set the vector to be this guy here, actor location. Okay. Now, that's going to set the last squad leader position. And what we can do in here is when we get our squad leader, if the squad leader is valid, that's cool. Then from our Blackboard, what we can do is we can get the value as float vector of the squad leader's last position. This is what we want. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to get that compared to the current one, right? And let's get a distance between the two. Get a distance. And we'll clean this up in a second. So we'll get the distance, and it's this vector length. Yikes. Vector length. Nope. Oh, it's already a vector length. Okay, if this is greater than, let's say if the leader moves more than 100, greater than 100 units, then we will update all of this stuff. Otherwise, we're just gonna stay right where we are. So if this is true, we're gonna pop into here, and then we should update our position. Okay, and then, so our spheres should just stay in the same place. We still need to finish our execute. This is still valid, so let's just, it's cool. If the cast failed, you know what, for now, let's just feed this into here. We just don't want to get stuck in our ability tree. Everything has an out. Let's compile and save everything. Let's see what we get. All right, so there's our leader. He's still moving. They're gonna form up. Okay. I gotta figure out how to get them not to bounce off each other. So it's working-ish. They are calmer. But our leader's moving too much, man. Let's just debug one thing at a time here. So what's happening is we're coming in here, our leader's finding the position, and then we go into this loop. And this was kind of like a keep alive thing. So let's just kill this. All right. Why isn't this? He's just turning in place. They're not really... Okay, simplify this even more. Because they're not really in line behind him. This is a look around task. You know what? I think let's just axe this whole loop. The leader should go to a place and stay there. These dudes should all form up behind him. They kind of did. It looks like our vector 1, 2. I don't know why our third guy's so close. Let's change our distance between... Wait, what was that? Okay, we said 100. Let's do 150. Okay. So the leader's gonna go. Pretty good. Okay. Okay, so their distance between each other feels pretty good. This is basically a single file thing. Now, if the leader moves, and I'm actually not going to be able to see because this control scheme is set up is different. Let's see what happens. No, that's only if they're in defend. All right, look, I kind of want to do this just because I'm curious what's happening, but I'm also jumping the gun way too fast here. This is full-on gambling at this point because there's a bunch of stuff we need to prove out. Everybody's in place. The leader's going to see me, and it's going to totally change his loop. they're no longer in place anymore. They've kind of moved their positions. All right, well, that was fun. That was fun just to try out. Okay, so here's the thing. In our behavior tree, when we get to these positions, we're going to move to the position. This is done with a certain radius, acceptable radius of 50. So that's why there's a little bit of offset in whether or not they line up perfectly. If we get to that point, if we don't have line of sight and we are the squad leader, we're going to come in, we're going to look for damage. We're going to do some waiting. We're going to, while we're waiting, we're going to be looking for damage and are looking around. And we're going to do that every 1.5 seconds. Then if we're the leader, we're going, here, let's just do that. Let's just test those things. We're in simulate. Simulate. Okay, so now, how are we doing time-wise? We're running out of time. So our leader basically goes to, where's his spot? Okay, it's really hard to know, but I believe we're in the right order. The text above their head only works when you're in screen space, and for some reason it doesn't work in this mode. So they're pretty much lined up. The only thing that's not happening is I don't see the leader looking around. So why is that? Enemy 0. Oh, because I didn't reconnect it. That's why. All right, let's connect this. Now we should be looking around. Here we go. All right, so our leader's gonna go walk into place. Our buddies are gonna form up in order behind. I don't know where that guy's going. Okay, so that's roughly 50. So he's looking around. That's totally cool. Is there anything right now? There's really no reason for him to move right now. These dudes could be looking around as well. I think that would feel more natural. So we'll definitely want to add that in. So we're over here. We can get rid of this. Because then everybody's looking for damage. Everybody's waiting. Everybody's looking around. Cool. So now what should happen is they should all drop in a formation behind him in order. This guy's not quite there yet. I'm not totally sold on that guy's position. Like, I'm not sure what enemy 3 is doing over there, but 1 and 2 look good. Because there's no way that's a... Oh. I know what happened. His forward vector changed because he was looking around. Wow. Okay. Basically what happened was, wow, once he got into his position, he started looking around, which changed his forward vector, which is why enemy 3 is over here. That makes a lot more sense. So, but this is feeling cool. We're making progress. Okay, so let's see here. We come into position. We get in here and we form up. Here's a problem. When we form up, I don't think I don't know. The problem when we form up is when we go in here, we're basically using which way the leader is facing to determine what we determine which way single file line goes behind him. Well, the problem is when he first gets in there, he hops in and without any delay and starts doing a look for damage. Which, what does this do? This doesn't actually look around, does it? No, it doesn't. So that's good. And so we look for damage, so that doesn't do anything. But then we start this whole look around thing. Where we don't actually wait first. But if we waited first, switch the order here. The lead should go to where he's going to, wait 1.5 seconds, which should give his buddies time. Man, I'm not totally sold. Hold on a second. Lead comes in. They go there first. Like, this dude should not be, oh my goodness, what is happening? Okay. I know what's happening. Let me see if I can try to explain it before we run out of time here. Basically what's happening is the leader's coming in, he's spawning. He's going in, he's updating his status, finding a spot around the defensive position, and then he's skipping this, he's setting his focus, he's moving to that location. When the squad members spawn, they spawn in as a squad member. They're not really looking for they're looking for where the leader is. Well, the leader hasn't got into position yet. The leader's still moving. And so what's happening is the first position they're assigning themselves is where the squad leader spawned in the first place. Then what happens is they get stuck in this sequence where they're looking for tasks. So then there's a 5 second plus or minus 2 second wait before they update, oh dude, the squad leader moved. And so then they finally are like, oh, okay, I gotta do that move too. So, for example, if we put this condition back on our sequence so that only the squad leader moves, what will happen is the pawns, the members, squad members, will initially run. And then what will happen is they'll just keep running this loop. So now they're getting into place way better. Right? So let's just run it again. Squad leader. They're all picking their positions. Much better. They fell in. Now why did that dude go there? That was interesting. I'm not sure why that one happened. Let's run it again. Squad lead moves into place. Nobody moves. This is good. They're also not looking around now, right? Which I guess is okay. What we can do, I mean, there's a couple ways we can handle that. We can create a separate branch for the squad members, or let's just try that. Let's do. Okay, hold on. Let's just reconnect these guys and see how chaotic this looks. Only the squad lead is moving every 5 seconds plus or minus 2. squad members fall in. And then the squad leader moves and the squad members fall in. Okay. I mean, it's kind of working. It's a little janky because they're like jink, 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 trying to get into place. But I don't know if that's a logic problem. They're definitely not following like ducklings though. Which, you know, admittedly is kind of what I was thinking they would do. Like, where's that guy going? This guy's very confused. So see, they're still moving to this. But when the leader's still moving. So what's happening is they're just not doing this while the leader's moving. But overall, not bad. Jamie, good seeing you, dude. But overall today, you know, we did all right. We got kind of the start of a form up working. I think what we'll do is we'll try to probably take a look at perfecting this, making this feel a little bit more smooth. And also I'm thinking about toying around with the idea of different formations. So maybe when the defensive item is moving, they move with it in like a flying V. You know, we can always go Mighty Ducks if we want to. It'd be cool just if different squads had different form up positions. I don't know when we're going to use them. I just feel like it might be cool to have, or at least to try to do. And then, so we'll kind of work on that, and then maybe we'll take a look at squad health. I'm still trying to sort out just a general heads up. I know that we do this every Sunday and Wednesday.